Hello and welcome back to the ADHD Girls podcast with
Who are you?
Laura and me. No, I was gonna do it like with Laura and then you say Claire, but that's not right.
I'm not Claire.
I'm Claire, and so sitting next to me is Laura.
You can tell this is going to be one of those days.
I don't know what I was trying to do then.
It's okay. We had this before where you were like, who am I?
Oh,
It's
I
okay.
don't know why I've complicated that. Anyway, yeah.
Welcome to...
Welcome.
This is so typical ADHD. That was brilliant.
Right, well, today we're going to talk about how we can't remember anything. No,
How is ADHD showing up for
for
you?
me, apart from not knowing
Who you are.
where my person ended and your person began,
Yeah.
and I confused the two. This week, I was really annoyed. I was on the train going home, and I was so engrossed on reading a book on my Kindle. I got off the train and I went home. About an hour later, I was like, oh no, I've left my umbrella on the train. I was so annoyed because it's a freestanding umbrella, so it's not like I could have put it in my bag. I just had it next to me.
Holding it.
I was holding it. It's like, I don't understand. I straight away was like emailing the train company, the station, saying, please, lost property, return it to me. But I was just so annoyed because I had in my mind, don't forget your umbrella. Don't forget your umbrella. Don't
Did
forget
you
your umbrella.
buy it,
Don't forget your
or-
umbrella. No, it was a gift from a partner. And I'm really upset. It was a really nice umbrella.
Oh.
And the reason I forgot it was because I was so engrossed in reading books. I was trying to shut out all the idiots around me on the train. It's just not my fault. It's their fault. They should pay for a new umbrella.
Yeah. I dare they be alive.
So that's me. What about you, Laura?
I was happy because I finished my book.
Yay!
And then I read my book.
Oh,
And it was like, oh, sweet Lord, there's two chapters that don't line up. So my ADHD was also like, no, this is the way, this is the direction this book is going. And then a little while later, my ADHD went, no, we're going to take the book in this direction. And I wrote both of these books into one book.
Mm-hmm.
So now, somewhere around the middle, it doesn't line up. So I need to just rewrite two chapters very, very creatively, and then it becomes a whole book.
Yeah, as you're talking, I'm thinking about, I had a book when I was a teenager, and you might remember these books. You could change the endings.
Yeah.
You literally came to a point in the story where you just like, if you wanted to go this way, go to this page. And
Yes.
I'm kind of thinking, it sounds a bit like that, where it must be quite hard to stay on a path because ADHD brain's like,
we could go here, we could go there. Yeah, that's
Just
why
go.
decision fatigue is a real thing with me. And that's why I think the book has ended up the way it has. And that is a good idea. I might do that in another book, but this one I just need the middle bit to slap it around a little bit, bring it back into line of that's not how you're meant to be. So that's how my ADHD has manifested itself this week. So we are going to talk about a mat today.
Yeah, just
What's it
thought
called?
I would tell you about the mat that I have purchased a few days ago. It was following me around on my phone. Adverts were popping up like every minute.
So you must have said this out loud.
I don't know. And it just captured me. And I was like, buy the thing, make it go away off my phone. So I did. I bought it. It's called the Shakti mat. Make sure I say that right. Say that carefully.
So what is it? Describe this mat.
So this mat promises to change my life. Right, basically there are other mats available, but this one is, I think, the more expensive one.
Yeah, we're not affiliated with this
Not
product.
affiliated,
We're just using it,
just my
passing on.
experiences. So it's sold to me as this mat that you lie on it, and with your bare skin, so you've got to lie with your back on your back. Although I've since
And it
found out,
covers your whole back, doesn't it? It's quite a big.
No.
I would say it's a big mat, but it covers, I think, down to the bottom of your spine.
yeah, just for us shorties, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get it in different, because I had one. I think I have one. It's somewhere in the vicinity of my being at home. Don't know where. It's the typical ADHD. It's somewhere in the house. I have no idea where it is. It might have even walked off by itself by now.
Yeah, well, I
Just
found
had
someone
enough.
else. So
Yeah,
that's
had enough.
enough.
Yeah. You used me twice, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it has these flower-shaped spikes, but they're very small, aren't they?
So you can buy 3 different levels, and I went for the basic level. And yeah, they're these discs with spikes on them, and it's supposed to be like acupressure. So you are supposed to, now, if I describe it, that the first time I lay on this thing, I didn't know. I thought I was doing something really bad. It was very painful. Everyone feels pain differently, so this is just my experience. But you lie on it, and when you initially lie on it, it's like loads of sharp needles.
Pins, yeah, because you're meant to lie on a flat. Technically, you're meant to put it on the floor so it's somewhere flat and hard, and then you lay on it. That's how my understanding was, that you don't put it on a bed because the bed is movable, that you have to put it on a hard
I did put it on the
surface.
bed because this one did say you can start off on the
okay.
bed.
Oh,
and I was like,
level, yeah.
like, really take it down because I don't know how I'm going to feel. So I did it on the bed. Now, as you said, it does move around. So I think a lot of the pain came from the fact that when I came off the mat after 20 minutes is what they recommend, moving off it actually was really painful because then the spikes moved. Yeah. So it was then attaching itself to
and scratching.
So the sensation is that you gently lower yourself onto this mat. I had my knees up so that I could feel the base of my spine was in connection with the mat. And I'd say initially the first few minutes are very painful. And then what I found was that I feel very warm, but not in an unpleasant
blood
way.
Flow, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's stimulating. I think I read that it stimulates, like the body thinks that there's an injury, so it's sending blood to all the areas. So that basically your back will then become very warm. And what I did, so I listened. I lay on the mat, and it didn't. I wouldn't say it felt pleasant, but it's a bit like people who say cold water swimming is really unpleasant at first, but then it makes you feel amazing. So it did help. So what I did is I listened to, I've got the Calm app. I put on some, it's called binaural beats.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever that is. And I listened to that, and I did put time on for 20 minutes. And I have to say, I did feel amazing. I did feel clear-headed. I felt clarity. I felt good. I had endorphins. So I've tried it now 3 times.
Do you do it once a day?
I mean, they say whenever. Yes, I did it in the evening. Now, another time I used it, I actually had really sore quads in my legs. So I was like, oh, you can use it on your legs. That was a whole different level of pain.
How do you...
Yeah, so you lie on your front. So you can, in theory, lie on your front. But I personally wouldn't recommend that if you're not used to it, because back is one thing, but lying on my quads was incredibly painful, and the skin had loads of indentation and it felt really itchy. So I think that's possibly something you would want to wear, like, I don't know, pajamas on before you did it on that one, so that you've got a bit of fabric,
some buffer there.
Yeah, because I have extremely sore legs from doing exercise, so I was like, oh, it might help. But yeah, I would say that I definitely felt really good, and I'm going to try it again tonight. But whether it's working on a level of basically you're giving yourself 20 minutes to just lie there without your phone, without any TV distracting or anything like that, and whether you're just giving yourself 20 minutes to lie there. But I think there's more. I do believe it's doing more than just that, because I did feel, and you can almost feel like a pulsing the back. I felt like the blood was rushing around, and it is that we know more.
Yeah, your awareness is.
It's good to have the blood moving, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I used this years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember when I laid on it, it was like lay on the ground and lay so I had to kind of gently. But I couldn't gently because you're just like, ow, this just hurts.
Yeah.
I remember lying there, and then I got the pillow as well, which kind of goes just at the top of your neck, like directly at the base of your spine. That's where I think, the one that I had. And I remember laying there, and it was just like, this is horrible. I hate this. I hate it. And I'm trying to get out of that mindset. But for me, the pain was so strong because it literally felt like thousands of, and it felt like my back was on fire or something, because it's just really stimulating.
Where was the pain worse, the neck or the back?
Back.
Yeah.
For me, it was around the shoulders, because I think that's where you naturally the weight goes for me. And it was just like, ow, ow, ow. And I was trying to get out of that mindset of, okay, just, you're not in danger. Like, there's nothing harming you. You just have to mentally push through it. And I was struggling with it because, they say 20 minutes at least. I can't remember how long I did it for. I don't think I made it the full 20 minutes because I was just like, this is... I remember the whole of my back had all the little marks on it. And it felt really warm, and it was really, really red, and there was like
sunburn, isn't it?
Yes. And it was all the little indents of the little flower-looking things and my neck, and I couldn't feel any kind of benefit. But I might try it again, maybe like with anything, I suppose, us if you do it a few times, you might then notice, oh, actually, no, I can see a difference now. So I might have to do it more than once and actually try and either buy another one or locate it. This is why I've probably got about 3, because I probably keep doing this of like, oh, I might try that again, and then I can't find it, buy another one. And if 5 years passes and you're like, oh yeah, I've got that mat. Oh, I don't know where it is. I'll buy another one.
It's like anything. It's like we can start off having these great intentions and using a new system, using a new tool, and it was great. But then I often find like 3 days later, it's like, I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah,
it's really hard.
The shiny object syndrome has kind of passed. And I find with ADHD, that is, the side quests and the creative output things, where you buy, oh, I'm going to do knitting, or oh, I'm going to do painting, or oh, I'm going to do this. You get all the stuff for it. And then it's like, oh no, I don't want to do that anymore. So I think I must have 2. I reckon I have 2.
Do you know about my
house?
Are you aware about my knitting sort of cabinet? Because basically, you've just described my problem with my loads of half-finished knitting projects and balls of wool that I'm like, I've lost interest in that colour. I don't like that wool anymore. I'm not interested in any more scarves. So it sounds like you're
this
aware
is
of
an
that.
ADHD. No, this is an ADHD thing. The side quests and the creative output, where you go, I will buy everything for this. For me, it was painting. I loved painting because I find it really calming, and it focused my mind while being creative. So obviously, naturally, I bought all this painting stuff. And then after about 2 weeks, I was like, oh, that creativity's come out now. I don't need this anymore.
It's left the body.
So it's again somewhere, probably next to the mat somewhere in the house, or the 2 mats or 3 mats.
Where does that matter go? That sort of, where does that, that creativity's gone somewhere.
Yeah. So it's like it needed to come out.
Has it
it's come out now?
Something else?
Well, it's transformed into paintings, or to knitting, or to whatever, sculpturing.
But then once the painting's been, where does it? Is there more? Does it come somewhere else? Does it turn something? Does the creativity continue to flow?
I think it needed to come out, and it did.
And then
it's gone off somewhere else, where my brain's like, I've got that out of my system. I'm done now. And I'm like, right, but I've just spent all this money and all this stuff. Are you serious?
Yeah.
And my ADHD just goes, yeah, but I've done that now. I've done the thing. I want to do another thing. And then a little while passes and I go, oh, that looks actually, this is really nice. I'm going to do that. And then I'll buy more stuff around this. And then you go, oh, this is great. Yeah, I'm into this. This is, I'm in my flow. I'm getting my creative juices going. This is really helping my mental health. Oh, this is creative. And then again, your creative goes, right, I've done that. I've done this. And when you're like, right, I've got the painting stuff. I've now got this stuff. I've got bead stuff. I've got bracelet stuff. I've got all this creative crap. And I sometimes will write back to it. Like a while ago, I was painting again because it was like, right, I needed that creative. But I find if I didn't buy it, that's all I would be thinking of. Oh, if only I could buy that painting stuff, then my life would be perfect and I could get all my creative juices going and my life would be perfect. But when I do buy it, it's then almost right, we've ticked that box, we're now never going to look at this stuff again.
So what I'm thinking as you're saying this is that it doesn't really matter. Like, I guess, are we putting this onto it needs to be a sort of commercial venture? Are we forgetting that it can just be for the sheer pleasure of it? Maybe we're judging ourselves going, oh, but I spent so much money on that knitting stuff and I don't use it anymore. I was going to do macrame. I was going to make macrame plant pot holders.
What's macrame?
Macrame? It was very popular in the 70s. It's like a hanging, twisty rope thing. You put a plant pot in.
Oh, I didn't know the name for that.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do I haven't touched the kit. And it's like, yeah, so are we putting pressure on ourselves? It has to be a commercial venture. It has to be a success. And are we forgetting that actually the sheer act, it doesn't really matter whether we do the thing again. It's just output. As humans, we all need a creative output. So maybe maybe we can just tell ourselves it's fine. But the issue is that we do spend a lot of money accumulating all the kit that we need.
Yes.
And,
especially now, things aren't cheap.
No.
And I think I find in the past, I would get really attached because I'd spent money on things.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was beating myself up going, no, you've spent money on it. You have to now
use it,
do it.
Get your return on your money.
Feel like I've got either my money's worth or I've used it to the maximum of I could because of the cost. Because when you go for a walk, you think, well, that's a creative output.
Yeah.
Us talking is a creative, but there's no
outlay
money attached to it. But when you spend money on, right, I need this painting, I need this paint, I need this sheet of paper, I need these brushes, it's an output. And I feel you get attached to that, like, oh, but I've done this and I need to have something to show for it.
I was buying these bamboo needles because they just felt nice in the hand. Because I had all these steel needles that my gran had left me.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was using them and I was like, I don't like the feel of them. They feel wrong. They're hurting my fingers. So I've got these bamboo ones. They're lovely. They just feel really nice. And I want to use them. And then I have a subscription to a knitting magazine, and every month I am getting these free items. Right, and every month I'm getting like stitch holders and a little bit, and I'm like, where am I going to put it all? It just keeps accumulating. I'm like, I need to stop this magazine subscription, but I can't because there might be a pattern in there that's going to be amazing. I'm going to knit a cardigan that is going to be the best cardigan ever. Can I just say I have made multiple tank tops, and all of them are too short.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on. Does anyone out there know how to gauge the size? I mean, obviously you're doing something wrong, but yeah, I always think it's going to be too long, so I decide to do a few rows short, but actually I ended up being too short. It's quite frustrating. It's supposed to be relaxing, but I get really irritated.
Like, this is not perfect. Yeah. So thinking about these things, it's almost like we almost want to have it because obviously it's a great creative output, but then I can't quite put my finger on why I lose interest. I don't know if I've like, okay, I've got it out my system or, I don't know. But going back to your mat, you've managed to obviously do it for 3 days.
Yeah.
And I think once you get into the habit of doing something, it's easier to get momentum. I mean, when I used to run a long time ago, it was still hard. Doesn't matter how many times I ran, it was still hard to put my trainers on.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, where you think, I'm not scared of anything. There's nothing major. Like I used to run all the time and it wasn't a big deal, but in my head it was. And it's almost like once you do something a little bit, I struggle with habits.
Yeah, forming habits and keeping habits, isn't it? I think running, strangely, has been one of the things that I don't struggle with keeping as a habit. That's why I just love doing it, because it seems, but thinking about it, I do have quite a few systems in place to make sure that I do go for at least one run. So yeah, I do kind of combine it with meeting it with friends. So there is that, which does help me keeping it. But yeah, the mat, I'm going to keep trying with it. I do think it's helping me calm down before bed, because obviously that's when my brain starts to go, you got all the ideas.
Yes, when it comes to life.
But, I think it is frustration. We get frustrated. I think if we can't do it really well, we get frustrated. And
the perfectionism comes in.
Yeah.
It might, because I find before I used to, I'm not a perfectionist. And actually,
I never used to think I was, but I am, yeah.
I am, because I think I would just say, I don't want to do it because it has to be a certain way. So it might not come off as perfection, but in my mind, it has to be a certain way, or it has to be the best, or it has to be a certain way where I think that's linked to perfection. It might not. Maybe a lot of people might go, but I don't want it to be.
Yeah,
I want it to be a certain
exactly.
Way.
Yeah, that is.
You think that? Yeah, that is whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I know that I hadn't recognised that I was till fairly recently, but it's that not wanting to. Yeah, it's not like we don't see it necessarily as being perfect, but it is that process.
It has to be a certain way where you're like, I can't unless it's that way. I don't want to start it, or I don't want to do it, or it's putting me off because in my mind I've built it up to be a certain something.
When you've made 3 tank tops that are all too short, it does get really disappointing, and it's like, oh my god,
you put into it.
It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of
energy, effort, and
unraveling and counting and going back and trying to concentrate, and then it becomes a chore. And I don't want it to be a chore. It needs to be a fun activity. It needs to be good. I mean, knitting is great for something to do. It's how can I put it? Maybe just stick to knitting squares in the sense that it's just something nice to do, not necessarily to produce anything, but just the act of knitting it can be quite soothing because it's repetitive and it's something is getting creative.
It's creative, yeah. It's an output.
But I don't know. I really do want to do a decent cardigan. I got about 3/4 of the way through knitting a lace cardigan. Now lace is actually really hard to knit because if you hit the stitch, it's really hard to go back and find out where you've dropped it. And I got so damn frustrated to get 3/4 of the way through, and it's just sitting there on the bloody stitch holders waiting to be finished. I don't think it ever will be. I think I need to donate it to a craft group or something.
Yeah.
And unravel it all.
But it's going through that process of doing.
Just thinking about it's making me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, no, I don't want
to. So much effort.
Yeah. And it's then like, okay, I have to go into the unknown of, I've not done this before. How do I do it? That's what my brain comes up with. I've not done this before. Where do I start? What do I say? Yeah.
And then it's always that, I always find whenever I pick something up, it's always like, could this be the thing that makes me a millionaire? Could this be, am I going to find that this is an untapped talent that I have that I am the best in the world at? It might happen.
It might.
Yeah.
You never know.
So you never know. It is hard to deal with that. It's that.
The Elon Musk of knitting.
Yeah. And it's that ADHD thing of like, I could be anything and I have so much, the God mode.
Yeah.
I'm going to be amazing at this project. It's like, no, I'm not really.
And then
that massive frustration, yeah.
And then you're like, you slowly kind of like, meow. And then that's it.
Yeah.
It's kind of done.
Mm-hmm.
So we've reached our no shame zone where we share our embarrassing and humiliating ADHD traits where before we'd go, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Well, now we're sharing those. So hopefully if anyone else has got similar, you don't feel so alone. So my one, going back to the creativity, I used to paint a lot. I used to love it and really like creative, just abstract works. And I was, when you're in God mode, and there was a craft fair, and I decided, right, I'm going to take part and get my work out there and, hopefully build momentum. And I set up, I spent so much money, time and energy on this because I was like, I'll sell a few bits. And again, I put everything at a reasonable price and made sure everything looked really nice. I got cellophane for everything. I literally went for the whole week just getting everything ready and making sure it looked good and professional. And I went to the craft fair and it was a great vibe. It was a great atmosphere. It was lovely. And it was just nice to be around that creative energy where everyone's there for that creative output. And I sold nothing. I had so many people come go, oh, that's really pretty. Oh, that's really nice. And again, I was trying to be not too like, oh God, is this much or anything? I was just, but if you've got any questions, let me know, and being friendly. And I sold nothing. I was there for the whole day. And I think there was a few other people as well that were like, oh, I sold nothing. And it's that almost embarrassment of what's wrong with it? Why doesn't no one want it? Why does everyone say it's really nice, but then no one buys anything? And it's that thing of putting yourself out there. I feel like being rejected or going, oh, yeah, we don't want your stuff, but still kind of doing it.
Yeah.
But it sounds awful. I was kind of like, oh, at least it wasn't just me. Other people were also in that boat. But I find when I go to a lot of craft fairs and speak to people, that's quite normal to go and put yourself out there and you don't have any sales.
It's really hard. And I think a lot of people don't appreciate how much work goes into homemade things. And they're like questioning the price. It's like, yeah, okay, you could get this cheap made in China, but it's not going to be the same creativity that's gone into this. And it's that mismatch between what people expect to pay and not really appreciating how much work goes into these things.
Because there were so many people like doing, I remember this lady was like doing pillows and everything else, and they were absolutely amazing, and even she didn't sell anything. And you're just like, oh, I thought that. So you put yourself out there, you get what you perceive as rejection. It's just, for whatever reason, it wasn't meant to be. So that's my no shame zone. What about you, Claire?
So I still want to create this cardigan. It's going to happen. It will happen. It's going to be a new project. It's going to be a new one. But just the shame around that, really, just not being able to complete something or complete it, but it's really short and wrong size and the shoulders are too big. And I think, basically talking on this podcast today has made me think, it's the joy needs to come from perhaps, doing some smaller projects. I really like the idea of knitting some flowers.
Oh,
yeah, I've seen some really nice knitted flowers actually that they were selling in the Westfield Centre. And they're doing really well, and it was around Valentine's Day, and people were buying them. And I just think, that could be really nice. It's, I like flowers, and do something smaller, something that might only take a couple of hours, and try that. But it's that shame around, why isn't it perfect? Why is it the wrong size? Why haven't you managed to complete it? I think I probably would need to go and get some help from someone with experience.
So a local knitting group?
Yeah, there is actually. Yeah, definitely. So I probably need to have a look into that. And try and get back the enjoyment of knitting, but just for like an
Yeah.
hour or so, rather than this massive project that's going to wear me out.
We think it has to be a certain way, or I have to make money, or I have to
Yeah.
I have to, or this has to be of something other than, like you say, the joy of that creative expression.
Exactly.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.